Earth Day's coming up. It's Earth Month. So why not get the whole family into reducing, reusing, and recycling? Julie Freedman Smith from Parenting Power here this morning with advice on kind of getting into that. And you're saying it should be the whole gamut. Everyone should be doing everything, contributing in their own way.
Yeah, I don't love the word should. And
okay.
I think it's really an opportunity for us as parents to be teaching some really great things.
Okay, and so how would I get started then to try and get my kids into this?
Well, one of the best things to do is to really see how your family can work it. Every family is going to do it differently.
Okay.
And so the difference is between forcing your kids to do something versus sitting down and working collaboratively with them, which is not to say we never make our kids do things, but in this situation, kids have so many great ideas. They're probably talking about it in school. They may have ideas that they want the family to start. So as part of a family meeting or, around the dinner table or something, just ask, how can we be making a difference? How can we be reducing, reusing, recycling? And how is our family going to make that happen? And we may get too many answers, or things are coming at us. And whenever we do a brainstorming session like that with kids, we often advise write down everything, help them to know that they're being heard, and then go back as a family through the list and say, let's go through each one and see which ones can actually work for us. Pick a few, don't go crazy, start small, and then make a plan for how that's going to work. Do you mean taking the ideas and doing this on top of, recycling the paper and the glass and all that stuff? Well, Calgary does recycling well.
Yeah.
Many families embrace it. The city has given us many ways to do it. Companies do it. It's just happening.
Yeah.
And that's something that we all do pretty well, the recycling part. It's the reducing and the reusing that might be able to shift a little bit in our families. And that's important for a few different reasons. One of those is, we just quoted Tim Elmore in our blog this morning, and he has a quote that says, self-esteem comes from knowing who we are intrinsically and using our gifts to help others. And so intrinsically means who are we on the inside? What are our values? What do we believe? And yet as society, most of what we're doing is extrinsic. We're buying stuff. We're bringing in more stuffed animals. We're bringing in more clothes. We're bringing in more stuff. Buy. So part of reducing might be just to be more aware of what's coming in.
Okay.
Reusing might be, how can we take some of the stuff that we have that we're not benefiting from, and how can we give that to someone who really could? So how do we share our gifts with those who may benefit from it?
I see.
So it's a bigger thing than just Earth Day.
Yeah.
It's these big values, and kids learn about 75% of what they learn from us through our actions.
Okay.
So it's about getting an awareness of how we're going to put reduce and reuse along with recycle in our family systems.
Okay, yeah, okay. And so, I mean, just getting back to the whole brainstorming session with the kids and that type of thing, when you write it down, they feel like they're heard, they know that you're taking notes, you go over it again, and then when it goes from there, once you decide on 1, 2, 3, 4 things you're going to start doing, then how do you follow up with that?
That is a great question, and that's typically where family planning, not family planning in that sense, but planning within our family falls apart.
Yeah, because you have to
everybody says, okay, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And that's not the last step. The last step is, how are we going to do this? What day? What time? What's your job? What's my job?
I see.
How do we know it's working? When are we going to check in to see if it's actually happening? And that goes for everything. That goes for toilet training, and that goes for homework, like any kind of planning that we're doing with our family. There's that last planning step, which is so important. And the closer we can get to the details, it takes the questions out. Everybody knows the expectations.
Yes.
Right? So
that's like a magic word for you guys.
It really is.
Clear expectations.
It's so important. For humans, that's so important. And it comes back to what you said at the beginning, how do we get everybody involved? So let's say you decide that one of the things you're going to do as a family is find a few things that you don't need and pass them on to somebody who does need it. If you know that certain someone who could really use it, great. But if you don't, there are lots of places you can drop things off. And, so if you say to your kids, you need to throw out 10 of your toys. I want them in a basket by tonight.
Yeah.
That's one approach. And the other approach is, we know of some families that have nothing. Can you think of any of your clothes or toys that you might be able to share with them so that the kids have something to play with?
Nice.
Then you're bringing the kids in, and they are gaining self-esteem by knowing intrinsically what they can do, feeling good about it, and sharing what they have with somebody else.
I like
so it's
that.
a bigger picture.
Instead of the command and obey, it's more like thinking
how
about it.
How can we work together
to
make something good happen?
I like it. There you go. Good advice. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you. Happy
Always
to be here.
good to chat. Always good to chat with Julie, Andy. There you go. Great advice.